Welcome to the Desert Gridiron Gameplan, an epic coaches show talking all things Arizona high school football. And now, your hosts, James Poovey, Ed Cole, and Parker Gurash. Take it away, gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to another edition of the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. James Poovey coming to you live here alongside my broadcast partner this evening, Mr. Parker Gurash. Ed Cole, unfortunately, not available to join us this evening. He is headed out east for a memorial service, so our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family tonight. But Parker, we've got another exciting edition of the show here, and we're going to talk about the crosstown showdown between the Prescott Badgers and the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. That's going to be a fun game on Thursday night.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like just in sports in general here in Arizona, our up north neighbors don't get a lot of attention, but these two teams, a great rivalry up there in Prescott, both playing extremely well so far this year too. So I'm excited to get into it.
Let's get into it right away. Let's bring on head coach Cody Collette and Uriah Tennant, all-star quarterback, joining us here. Or Tennant, excuse me, from the Prescott Badgers. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule. We know you're busy preparing for the game on Thursday night. Coach, we'll start with you. Just give us a brief synopsis of the season so far and how things are going up there for the Prescott Badgers.
It's been a good season so far. Our guys, we have a lot of team speed. We thought that from the beginning. So we've been very pleased with that. We played a very tough schedule. I think 4 of our 5 non-league teams, Thunderbird and Northwest Christian, are both 6-1. Combs and Vista Grande are 5-2. And the Grand Canyon region's always tough. So we feel like we're sitting in a good spot right now, getting ready to play always tremendously well-coached Bradshaw Mountain team. We're very excited about it. Offensively, we have a lot of weapons. Uriah leading the charge on that. Able to do so many things, both passing the football and running the football. We feel like we have 2 receivers that are as good as we've ever had in Josiah Peoples and Johan Gunderman. I feel like our offensive line, which was fairly young at the beginning of the year, only had 1 returning starter, is really starting to come together. Adam Lloyd's been very consistent in the backfield. I feel like we've gotten some good contributions from some other guys. Defensively, we're a little bit younger. Feel like we've really improved as the season's gone on. Sophomore starting at middle linebacker. Brody Hanna's made some plays. Uriah's done a great job back there at free safety with 5 interceptions. So we're excited. You work really hard to get to this stretch run with the opportunity to play football games that are meaningful, and obviously getting to play a TV game against Bradshaw Mountain in front of a packed house is extremely meaningful, and we're certainly excited about that opportunity.
Coach, do you feel like those first 4 games I want to kind of like focus in on at the beginning of the season that you had La Jolla Community beat, like you talked about, Thunderbird with the loss, but then bounce back beating Northwest Christian in Vista Grande. Do you feel like those 4 games have really helped your team collectively be able to go out and play the way you have so far in region play?
No question about it. I think you always want to challenge yourself in your non-league schedule. You find out a lot about your team in a loss. Sometimes you can mask some things that are weaknesses in wins. So we wanted to go out and challenge ourselves. We had a stretch there where for 4 straight weeks, the team we were playing was undefeated coming into the game. So we definitely feel like that challenged you. And you want to be in those type of situations if you're fortunate enough to get to advance to the playoffs and those type of things. And our guys have been in those type of situations, which we're hoping will bode well for us on Thursday night as well. And I know Bradshaw has as well. They've played a very challenging schedule also.
Coach, you brought on your superstar Uriah here to join us tonight. Tell us about this young man, a multi-sport athlete there for the Prescott Badgers, possibly even a better basketball player than he is a football player. But I remember reading something that you said in your 25 years of coaching, you've never had someone who does this many things and does them really well. Tell us about Uriah and what he means to the Prescott Badgers program as we take a look at his film here.
An incredible talent. Can make all the throws, does a great job, extremely intelligent. Obviously, you hear it all the time, the ability to extend plays. I think that's something that's so unique and special about him is his ability to extend football plays and do things like that. Great speed also. I don't think obviously we've talked about his exploits at quarterback, but I don't think he gets quite enough credit for doing such a good job at free safety. Has 5 interceptions, a number of tackles, is a very good tackler as well. which is a statement you don't hear a lot about quarterbacks, but he's an excellent tackler. Can return the ball on a punt here, as you're seeing from this punt from last year against Thunderbird. So an extremely talented young man, can do it all, and a tremendous basketball player too, and just a really good person. Just a really good person as well, and somebody that we really feel good about as one of the big leaders on our football team. So excited about his progress, and I've really enjoyed watching him play football, and definitely enjoyed watching him. I'm the PA guy for our basketball team, so I've enjoyed watching that as well. Extremely talented young man, comes from a great family, and really excited about this stretch run with him leading the charge there.
What's up, Uriah? Good to see you again. Last time I talked to you, I think it was on my podcast, but of course I got to broadcast to you a couple of times in that Fear the Hop tournament.
Yep.
And I've told a lot of people, in the past, I think AIA-wise, you're the best point guard in the state that we have. I think just the way you're able to just break down defenses. But I want to ask you kind of with how you play basketball and your style of being that floor general. It seems to have taken over on the football field as well as the quarterback position. How much does your background in the basketball at the point guard position feel like it has helped you be at that quarterback position for Prescott?
Playing quarterback is just like being a point guard. You're the leader of the team. You got to know all the plays. You got to know it all. Being those two positions are the most important things, and I've been in all my life, and I'm always prepared for it.
Uriah, how do you think your versatility on the football field makes you an asset to this Prescott Badgers football team? Like Coach mentioned, not only are you a great player on offense at the quarterback position, but you play great defense as well, and you even return kicks. How much, how valuable are you to this Prescott Badgers team?
I just try to use all my athletic ability as possible to help my team win. A lot of my teammates are, a big help. We have a lot of talent. It's not just me. A lot of weapons on our team, like Coach Collette was saying. We got Josiah Peoples, Cooper Kassoon, Adam Lloyd, Johan Gunnerman. Those are just a couple names that that are weapons and key talents to our team. And it's not just me. It's a whole team effort.
Speaking of Josiah Peoples, I know you guys played on the basketball team together, and I'm sure there's a couple of other guys possibly on your football team as well that play with you on varsity. How much does a connection with other sports help you guys on the field?
It's a great connection that me and Josiah have. We're not just teammates on the basketball court and the football court or on the football field, but we're also best friends. That's my guy. We're really tight, and we just have a really strong connection.
Coach, talk to us about your defense. Obviously, you guys are 6-1 on the 2024 season. You've got a high-powered offense behind Uriah and the rest of his offensive weapons, but that defense has to be playing really well also to get you 6 wins here in only 7 games.
Defense has really done a nice job. Like I said, they're very young. We're really excited about Brody Hanna. He's one of the better, more explosive linebackers we've had in a while. He's only a sophomore, so we're super excited about him. Cooper Kassoon, Uriah mentioned. Josiah Peoples has done a great job defensively. I think our defensive line's been really, really coming together with some good players there. Frankie Jaume's done a nice job as well. Our secondary, Uriah's done a great job in the secondary. I think our corners are really starting to come together. So it's a good group. We run an aggressive style of play, one that's done a nice job against spread teams, and we're looking forward to the challenge of playing a ground and pound wing T team in Bradshaw Mountain. I think they do it as well as anybody in the state, so we're excited about that challenge as well. But it's a group that I feel like has really improved as the season goes on, and I think they have their hardest test coming Thursday because Bradshaw Mountain has always done a great job with their ground and pound and their wing T and their buck series and their powers and their traps and their bellies, but they've also added some jet sweep stuff. Their quarterback's done a nice job being able to throw the ball down the field. So it's I think one of the more unique and possibly the biggest challenge we've faced thus far this season from an offense because they can do so many things well and they're so versatile.
Coach, with this matchup, I know brings a bit of rivalry. I believe you're 7-3 against this team, if I remember correctly. How much does the community get into it? Of course, you guys are close in mileage, just where you guys are in Prescott. But how much does kind of the city and the town get around it for big matchups like this one that you guys are going to be playing on Thursday night?
I think the kids really enjoy it, and I think that's the most important part because this is for the kids, for the athletes to get to play in front of a great atmosphere. I'm really excited for you guys to be there because I really feel like it's going to be an awesome atmosphere. As a coach, the community's very into the game. I've had multiple kids in class ask me. I've had people ask me at the grocery store, how's this Bradshaw matchup looking? As a coach, I'll be totally honest with you. It's a lot of stress. It really is. I think it's fun for the kids. And that's the most important thing as a coach. I love coaching. I love being around our team and our kids. But this one is it means more, and it means more to a lot of people. And there's just no getting around that. So it's exciting, but I also try to keep it in perspective. The most important things are to me are my faith and my family, and then football. But exciting opportunity to play a great team and in a great setting.
Coach, we are super excited to be up there on Thursday night. We've heard about this game for at least the past 4 or 5 years, being one of the broadcasters for the Northern Arizona Wranglers. We've heard all about the Crosstown Showdown. You're in your 11th season there at Prescott as a head coach. Bradshaw Mountain won this game last season 21-13, courtesy of a huge goal line stand. What would it mean for your team to get over on the Bradshaw Mountain Bears this Thursday night and improve to 7-1 on the season?
It would be huge. And everybody will talk about it in the Grand Canyon region standings. But to be honest with you, I talk to it more about our team in terms of seeding, because I think anytime you're a Northern Arizona school, the higher seed you can get, if you can get some home playoff games, that's a big advantage, especially when we're at a mile high and it's going to be cold when you get to the middle of November and playoff time. And to be able to do that, we have to go out and get these big victories at the end of the season. So we've put ourselves in position to play important games. So we're excited about that. And obviously in the Grand Canyon region standings, it'll be a big deal. But I think even more important is playoff seeding. And we realize this game is critically important for that playoff seeding.
Uriah, for you, 348 total yards of passing, or excuse me, total yards just in general, is what you had last time out against Flagstaff at NAU. What can we expect from you in a couple of days here in a big matchup with Bradshaw Mountain?
Giving it my all on the field, leaving it all out there. Just trying to lead my team to a victory. But just go out there and have fun and play hard and make sure, and everybody else is doing that too. So.
Uriah, talk to us about Coach Collette and the rest of the coaching staff there at Prescott. How have they poured into you and made you a better football player and a better person overall?
They're huge support, especially Coach Collette. He makes sure I'm okay with everything. He stays on top of our grades. He keeps academics. What's the word? Damn. He keeps athletics or academics
priority.
Yeah, priority. Yeah, sorry. But he's a huge support. Make sure everybody's okay. He prepares us every week for our games, as best as possible to set us up for success. And it's translated this year. So.
Uriah Tennette and Coach Cody Collette joining us here from the Prescott Badgers. They'll square off this Thursday night on Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona against the Bradshaw Mountain Bears in the 33rd edition of the Crosstown Showdown. That game started in 1993, and Prescott actually leads the all-time series 23-9, so they're going to try to make it 24-9 on Thursday night as they battle the Bears at Bradshaw Mountain High School. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you in 2 short days, and rest up. We're looking forward to a fun night on Thursday.
Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stay with us. When we return, we'll visit with the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. Coach Bob Young will join us, as well as Caleb Deckens when we return from the break. Stay with us. More Desert Gridiron Game Plan after the break.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
CW7 Arizona, your home for Live Golf, NASCAR, college football and college hoops. It's also your home for live local high school football starting August 22nd. Catch all the action as we bring you football's first game of the week every Thursday night. See some of Arizona's top athletes and biggest rivalries from divisions across the state. Thursday Night Kickoff, only on CW7 Arizona.
Coach Led here from Thunderbird. You're watching the Desert Gridiron Gameplan on Epic Sports Network.
We welcome you back here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. Always a pleasure to visit with the Prescott Badgers. They will square off this Thursday night against the Bradshaw Mountain Bears on Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona. Parker, it's going to be an exciting game, and I'm looking forward to my first trip to the Crosstown Showdown.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be my first time as well, getting to do color now with you, which I'm looking forward to. But two very talented teams, very well-coached teams, it seems like, as well. So it's going to be a good one. And I think the town aspect of it, with it being in Prescott and with it being, of course, on CW7, I think it's going to bring out a lot of people, and it's going to be a good showdown between these two teams.
It should be fun. Let's get head coach Bob Young and inside linebacker Caleb Deckens on here with us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate you joining us here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. Coach Young, you are into your 29th season coaching Arizona high school football. Tell us about the Bradshaw Mountain Bears in the 2024 season, and just give us a brief synopsis.
Well, we're getting better every week. We won 5 games in a row, and, we started out the season going to Snowflake, and they may be the best team in 4A, and that was a rude awakening for a lot of young guys that have never played Friday night football. And then we had to go to CDO the next week, but we're getting better every week, and we're starting to figure out some things, and I like the direction we're headed.
Coach, like you said, 5 straight wins for you guys after the 0-2 start. You haven't let up more than 22 points since week 2. What have you liked from your defense so far, and what has been the kind of thing you and your coaching staff have really implemented into your team to go and play the way they have so far?
Well, like I said, those first 2 games, we had a lot of kids that hadn't played a lot of Friday night, and Friday nights are a whole lot different than freshman and JV, and just the speed of the game. And I think, especially defensively, we've gotten better every week. We've been able to stop the run rather well and created some turnovers. And, they're starting to feel their way and build some good unity.
Coach, talking about your defense, you brought Caleb Deckens on here with you, one of your stars on the defensive side of the football, a gentleman who also plays running back. He's got 336 yards and 3 touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball. Tell us about the importance of Caleb Deckens on defense for the Bradshaw Mountain Bears as we look at some of his film here.
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys that go both ways. And, I think one of the things that Caleb Deakins has kind of been the leader. I think he's the leading tackler in the Grand Canyon region right now. And he was one of our, juniors last year that played a lot of defense. And, he's also our fullback, but I think he's kind of the guy that, he's in charge of stuffing the run. And, we've got some experience on the defensive line. And then, we got a couple of defensive backs. So it's just all coming together right now.
Caleb, for you, of course, you guys beat Prescott last year when you were a junior. How much effort have you been putting in this week with your guys, and how much could another win against a rival like Prescott mean to you guys as you head closer into 4A playoffs?
I would say, honestly, as a senior, a win against Prescott would mean a lot. My last year at high school, winning against Prescott would definitely mean a lot. This week we've prepared a lot, honestly. Just been locked in every practice, getting everything down, watching film. I feel like, honestly, to motivate my team, we're just there for each other. We're really a team. We have like that bond. Our chemistry works together, and that's how we're able to play well.
Caleb, what is your mindset going into every practice to allow you to continue the high level of play that you maintain? We mentioned it a minute ago. You're the leading tackler in the 4A Grand Canyon with 78 tackles, also playing offense at the fullback position, 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. When you get ready for practice every day after school and you try to make that transition as a student athlete, what's your mindset going out there on the field and really trying to take care of business?
Honestly, I would just say I want to play some football. I get out of school and I go to practice, and it's kind of that thing where you have to do it, and I just go my hardest every practice. I know that it's going to make me better eventually, so there's no point in not going your hardest every practice.
Coach, we just had on Uriah Tannett and Coach Coletti from Prescott. Of course, he's had a big year so far at the quarterback position, but I know he can play free safety and a multitude of other things, it seems like, for Prescott. How much has kind of the game plan been wrapped around him and the things that he's been able to do so far this season on the field?
Yeah, he's very unique. I think he's the best player in 4A overall. I mean, just everything that he can do. He never comes off the field, but as a quarterback, he's one of those guys that if something's not there, he makes something there. So you've always got to be aware of where he's at. Defensively, he's like a center fielder, and if you try to throw the ball deep, he's there. He's punt returner, kick returner. So, I mean, he pretty much does it all. So you've constantly got to be aware of where he's at on the field at all times.
Coach, tell us a little bit more about this rivalry game. It's called the Crosstown Showdown. We've heard about it for a number of years, being up there in Prescott Valley now for the past 4 seasons with the Northern Arizona Wranglers. We've been excited to get this game on our network. We finally got it done. How special is this game for the community up there in Prescott Valley?
Oh, it's very special, for Prescott and Prescott Valley. And, this is my 5th year with the rivalry. But, when I was at Mengus, we coached against Bradshaw and Prescott for a lot of years, and just had a lot of respect for both programs. And now that I'm at Bradshaw, I know they call it the black and blue game because number one, it's very physical. We're black, their colors are blue, and we have a Granite 19 trophy that goes to the winner, and there's a lot of pride involved in that. And so the kids know each other, they hang out on the weekends, and, it's just one of those things that's really unique, in a small community in Northern Arizona. So, it's a big deal up here.
Coach, kind of going off that right now with the 4A conference, standing so far, Prescott's at 8, you guys are at 12, but then you got schools like Yuma Catholic and Snowflake, like you talked about, who you think is one of the better teams in the conference as well. Do you feel like kind of maybe these smaller town schools that are performing really well right now, do you think they're kind of overlooked because of the amount of schools that are in the Valley? Because I think you guys are clearly a very well-coached team. Prescott's a very well-coached team, and you guys are putting up wins with big numbers. But do you feel like kind of these smaller town schools get a bit overlooked?
It's always been that way, and and that's okay. I think, you just got to get in the playoffs and prove it. But, Snowflake, certainly they're capable of making it to the state championship game or winning it. Yuma Catholic, Prescott. I think Prescott's a definite contender this year. I'd like to think we're pretty good. Coconino's a darn good football team. So, there's a lot of teams outside the Phoenix and Tucson area, especially in 4A that, I think can, when you get in the playoffs, can make some noise.
Coach, you guys are winners of the last 3 out of 4 in this matchup between you guys and the Prescott Badgers. What is it going to take to get over once again on Thursday night against the Badgers on Thursday Night Kickoff?
Well, every one of those games have been a 1-score game. So, I mean, it always comes down to the end. And, generally these games, whoever can win in the trenches probably is going to win. It comes down to turnovers, special teams, things like that. And, I don't think this year is going to be any different. It's just 2 really good football teams going at it and playing their hearts out. It should be make for a fun Thursday night.
Caleb, for you, 16 solo tackles on the season right now, 78 total. What's your kind of mindset going into this game against Prescott? They have, of course, a great quarterback like we just talked about a couple of minutes ago. They're able to put up points, but you in that linebacker position, what is your mindset kind of leading this defense to play, of course, a rival, but also a very good offense?
I would say, honestly, I just want to go out there and play some football. I know they have a lot of skilled players. We've played a lot of teams with a lot more skilled players. So I feel like if we go out there and play some football, there's a good chance that we will win.
Caleb, talk to me about your defensive line. Being a former linebacker as well, I know the importance of having a really good defensive line that allows you to free up and play wide open and flow and do everything you need to do and fill holes with a whole lot of tenacity. Talk about your defensive line and the importance to your gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, our defensive line is amazing. The only reason I'm able to make the tackles I make and find the alleys I find is because of our defensive linemen. So I couldn't be any more grateful for them, honestly.
And Coach, one last question for you. You got, of course, Prescott on Thursday. You got Flagstaff the following week, and then you finish the year versus Lee Williams, at home. With how it projects now, how are you feeling come playoff time about how this team's going to perform and how deep of a run do you think your team can make this season?
Well, a lot's going to depend on where we wind up. I mean, if we're fortunate enough to beat Prescott, we should be a top 8 team, possibly, win out. And that's big because, up here, if you get a home game, you probably play somebody out of Phoenix and it's cold and snowy up here. That first round's big. If we stumble and finish 7-3 or so, we're probably looking at 15, 16 seed and going back to Snowflake or Yuma Catholic. And, that's a tough road to hoe. So, the higher the seed, the better off you're going to be. So we just got to go 1 week at a time. I think this time of the year, I always tell the guys it's every game's playoff game for us right now.
Coach Bob Young and Caleb Deacons joining us here from the Bradshaw Mountain Bears. They will host the Prescott Badgers on Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona, and we're so looking forward to coming up for that game on Thursday. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Good luck on Thursday night, and we'll see you in 2 short days.
All right. Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Stay with us here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. We will preview a big Friday night matchup between the Higley Knights and the Horizon Huskies when we return. More Desert Gridiron Game Plan after the break.
CW7 Arizona, your home for Live Golf, NASCAR, college football, and college hoops. It's also your home for live local high school football starting August 22nd. Catch all the action as we bring you football's first game of the week every Thursday night. See some of Arizona's top athletes and biggest rivalries from divisions across the state. Thursday Night Kickoff, only on CW7 Arizona.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
We welcome you back to the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. A big game coming up Thursday night between the Bradshaw Mountain Bears and the Prescott Badgers. And Parker, I'm so excited for the Thursday night showdown, the Crosstown showdown up there in Prescott Valley. But there's another big game coming up Thursday night as well, right here in the Valley, and it features the Higley Knights and the Horizon Huskies. Coming on with us now, head coach Eddie Zuby and wide receiver Jaden Taylor from those Higley Knights out there in Gilbert. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. We certainly appreciate it. Coach Zuby, we'll start with you. Just give us a breakdown of the season so far there for the Higley Knights. You guys are off and running and having quite the success so far here in the 2024 season.
Yeah, we're 5-2 right now, and looking forward to the last 3 games of the season, and It's been a tough season for us. We got to play a really tough schedule and traveled out to California and beat one of the top teams out there in California. Now we're just looking forward to finish off this regular season the right way.
Coach, first off, love the Sonics tank.
Yeah.
As a person from the Pacific Northwest in Vancouver, Canada, it's always cool to see Supersonic stuff go around. Going back to kind of last game, we had Notre Dame prep on our broadcast a handful of weeks ago, and they were able to take care of Sunny Slope pretty well. You guys shut them out pretty handedly, 34-zip at home. How can your Higley team continue on after a big game like that against a very good team in Notre Dame prep?
Yeah, Notre Dame does a good job. They're a good football program, and we just have to continue on in execution and learning our game plan and perfecting our process Monday through Thursday, so that on Friday when we got there on game day, or this week Thursday, that it's like second nature to us.
Coach, you mentioned the 5-2 record this season. That has you guys placed at number 6 in the Open Division rankings. My question to you, how much do you pay attention to those rankings, or are you just kind of one of those coaches that says, hey, we got to just keep stacking wins, guys, and let the rankings take care of themselves?
Yeah, we definitely talk about the day-to-day process and just stacking good days and everything like that. And those stats, they're fun to look at. I mean, we were 3 1 week, and then we lost, then we were 9, now we moved up to 6. There's just so much movement, and there's so much of the season left. It is fun to look at, fun to talk about, but at the end of the day, we just try to harp on our day-to-day process and get improving each and every day.
Coach, you got quite the schedule coming up the last 3 weeks with Horizon, of course, on Thursday, then Desert Mountain at home, and then Williams Field to end the season. With you guys in that top 10 ranking right now, according to the Open, what does the team have to do each week now for the last 3 weeks of the season to, of course, contend and stay in the Open, but really go on a deep run when it comes to the state playoff race?
Sure, we're lucky and blessed to have kids that have kind of been through this before, and we know and understand that this is kind of like the midpoint of everything that we're trying to accomplish. And what we talked about on Monday is this is no time to let up. It's the end of the season, and everyone's has bumps and bruises, but this is the time where we really have to focus in and give that a little extra effort and be able to work a little bit harder for those things that we want to achieve.
Coach, you brought one of your star wide receivers on here with us, Jaden Taylor. Tell us about this young man and what he means to the Higley Knights offense and the football program overall as we take a look at some of his film here.
Yeah, Jaden is amazing. Jaden is a 3-year starter for us. He's our top returning wide receiver. He's very fun to have out there at practice. He brings the energy every single day. He's super positive. He's become one of the best leaders that we have on our football team. He never misses a beat. He's always ready to rock and roll, and we enjoy that about him. On those days where I know that I'm dragging butt and my monster drink hasn't kicked in yet, I can walk out to practice and hear JT hooting and hollering, getting everybody excited and ready to go. So he's turned into a really good leader for us.
Jaden, of course, you got a handful of offers so far, 8 touchdowns on the season. You're having a great year. How have you been able to really break down cornerbacks and DBs the way you have so far this season?
Just having coaches that have trust in you, having teammates around you that believe in you, and just going to work every day knowing that everyone bleeds the same and we can do everything that other teams could do. It just proves to us that we can do anything that we set our minds to do, and we work very hard. Our teammates, we come out, we push each other. Our coaches setting up good game plans, good drills at practice. Just preparing for the week, just having that confidence.
Jaden, tell us a little bit more about your coaches and how they pour into you, make you a better person and a better player, and what it means to you when you go out there on a Friday night or maybe a Thursday night, as the case this week, to have guys like that are behind you. They got your best interest in mind, and they want to see you do well.
I mean, the coaches, all of us players, like we appreciate the coaches. They put a lot of time and effort preparing us for the games. Practice, they show up. Not only that they show up for us, but they also have families outside. But it just shows like a lot about how much they care for us. So the only thing we can do is go out there and perform for our coaches. And Coach Zuby, he preaches to us a lot about our culture. So just coming together, bringing energy, having that chemistry, and just having great leaders as coaches is just easy.
Jaden, you got quite a relationship, it seems like, on the field with your quarterback, Luke Haugo. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. Of course, he's a D1 commit. He's able to sling the ball like no other right now. He's got currently 12 touchdowns on the season. How much has the relationship off the field with him and the friendship you guys seem to have be able to bleed onto the field and perform the way you guys have?
It's great because having a lot of guys that love football the same, like we just love the game so much. But outside of it, it's just all laughs, all jokes. We're always talking about football actually, but he's just a great person. It's just good to have great teammates around you that love the game as much as you. But Luke is a great player. He works hard. We also have Gunner. He works hard also. We just like to build that chemistry, and we know what we can do. So we just use that and run with it.
Coach, you mentioned the 5-2 record so far. Your offense is playing really well behind young men like Jaden Taylor and Luke Haugo, not to mention Gunnar Faggerl as well at quarterback. But let's talk about your defense for a minute. Tell us about that side of the ball and how well they're playing, because you don't get to 5-2 without your defense really being able to buckle down and make some stops when necessary.
Yeah, no doubt. We have a lot of big playmakers on that side of the ball. They show up every single week, so a lot of them are returning starters. We pride ourselves on being a fast, physical defense. We fly around. We bring a lot of pressure. Coach Baker and does a really good job with game plans and trying to take away what the offense does best. So those guys are very, very important to us. They're very opportunistic with turnovers, with causing fumbles and getting interceptions. And I think they've even scored 3 or 4 touchdowns this year for us. So when you have a defense like that as an offense, if things aren't always going your way, you can rely on those guys to get the ball back for you and put you in a good position. So that obviously helps out a lot with the confidence level.
Coach, in my opinion, I think you guys play in the toughest region in the 5A conference. Of course, you're going up against Horizon in a few short days. ALA Gilbert North is always talented. DM, like we talked about earlier. And then you got even Notre Dame Prep and Cactus Shadows. Everybody has over 500 records right now total. How much does region play mean to you and your coaching staff? And do you feel like the battle testing you guys get within these games has helped you in the state playoff runs that you've had in the years past?
So help me out. Did you just name off the top 7 teams in 5A, or were you just talking about our region?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So that's our schedule, right? That's our schedule right there. So we love it. Yeah, of course it helps out. You know what I mean? And we're going to see everybody again. All of those teams are going to go in the playoffs, and however the chips may fall. And if we make it in the 5A playoffs, we're going to see 3 of the 4 opponents again, and it just kind of is what it is. But it definitely is. It's iron sharpens iron. So we get everybody's biggest game. We're the 2-time defending state champs. We're everybody's Super Bowl. The 2 teams that have beat us, when they beat us after the game, and treated it like the Super Bowl, and as they should, right? We're the king until someone dethrones us. So those kids get excited for that. So we know that we have to be ready every single week, but definitely playing this tough schedule will definitely help us make us battle tested for the playoffs.
Coach, you talk about being battle tested. If you guys are able to remain in the top 8 in the open division, do you feel like you could go in there as a 5A team and make some noise? There's been a lot of conversation over the past few weeks about, maybe these 5A teams shouldn't be part of the mix. And I don't necessarily agree with that. If you're competing at a high level and the rankings come out as the rankings are going to come out, which no team can do anything about, do you guys feel like you could go into the open and really make some noise this year?
100%. 100%. Yes. We can beat any team on any given night, right? It's high school football. It's just about execution and loving your brothers. And we would love to have the opportunity to go against anybody that we happen to go against.
Jaden, my last question for you. Last season, you guys unfortunately lost to Horizon 28-6. Is there a little bit more juice in the locker room, a little bit more motivation to get a win against, of course, a top-ranked team in the state right now?
I mean, yes, it's definitely hard to take that loss because we don't take losing lightly. But Horizon's a good team. You know, we're a good team. We're just coming in, get another win. We're hoping to get that another win, but we also know that they're a good team and what we have to do to get that win. But it's just another game for us.
Coach, you mentioned the road trip out to California earlier this season. You guys faced San Juan Hills and beat them 25-20. When you approach the team, maybe if it's after a practice or whatever, and you present the opportunity to them to battle an out-of-state opponent, maybe a little bit better competition than you would have here in Arizona overall, how do they embrace that challenge?
They love it. They love it. And I didn't know if you knew or not, but the currently ranked 21st team in the state of California that we beat 25-20. So one of the top teams in California. So, they love it. And it was, this was the first year when we traveled, we knew we were going to have an uptick in the competition, and the guys took on that challenge and prevailed.
Coach, when you look ahead to this matchup on Thursday against Horizon, kind of the same question that I asked Jaden. With the loss last year that you guys took, I know is something probably you don't like to think about, but how much more extra motivation is it to not just be, of course, a region team, but also a team that is one ranking ahead of you in the Open?
Yeah, no doubt. For us personally at Higley, the last 4 times we've played Horizon, we're 1-3. So the last 2 years when we won the state championship, we were 12-2, and we lost to Horizon both years. So for me personally, yeah, I want to get these guys. We do preach, every season's new and all that fun stuff. But of course, a little person, just nothing against those guys or anything like that. They just kind of been a thorn in our side, and just want to be able to, exercise the demons.
And Jaden, tell us from your perspective what it would mean to you and your brothers to go out there on Thursday night and get a win over the Horizon Huskies. Coach mentioned 1-3 over the past 4 years. What would it mean for you and the Knights to get over on those Huskies on Thursday night?
I mean, it would definitely feel great. It will feel great, but it's just another game, one of those 3 games we need to win so we can have that spot in the playoff. But it would definitely feel good because, that feeling of losing is not great, but we're excited. We're excited.
Coach Eddie Zuby and wide receiver Jaden Taylor joining us here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. Gentlemen, good luck on Thursday night. We're looking forward to that game. We'll definitely have our eyes on that one as well. And we appreciate your time tonight and appreciate you coming on here with us and talking Knights football.
Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. Stay with us. After the break, we will visit with the Horizon Huskies. Coach Tyson Ditmore will join us, as well as quarterback Jace Ashley. Stay with us. More Desert Gridiron Game Plan coming up right after the break.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
CW7 Arizona, your home for Live Golf, NASCAR, college football, and college hoops. It's also your home for live local high school football starting August 22nd. Catch all the action as we bring you football's first game of the week every Thursday night. See some of Arizona's top athletes and biggest rivalries from divisions across the state. Thursday Night Kickoff, only on CW7 Arizona.
We welcome you back to the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. James Poovey coming to you live alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Parker Gurash. Parker, great to visit with Coach Zuby and the Higley Knights. He has really put his stamp on that program and turning them around out there at Higley High School. I remember coaching against Higley back in 2012 when they were still a 3A school. I was coaching defensive line for Phoenix Christian, and they have just climbed the ranks, and all they've done is just continue to win over those years.
That they have, and with that, they've also produced a ton of Division I talent as well. I got to see them last year when I was broadcasting for Desert Mountain. They came into DM and beat them 58-21, and if I remember correctly, it was senior night as well. So not, of course, the night you want to have on senior night, but we had Desert Mountain on earlier in the year. We know the type of program that is run over there, and just to see Higley continue on, just like in this whole 5A region, honestly. It's very impressive, but I'm excited to talk to another team I got to watch last year, too, in Horizon.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get him on here. Head coach Tyson Ditmore and quarterback Jace Ashley joining us here from the Horizon Huskies. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We certainly appreciate you coming on here ahead of your Thursday night matchup against the Higley Knights. Coach Ditmore, we'll start with you. Just give us a brief synopsis of the 6-1 season so far. You guys are ranked number 5 in the open division rankings, but I have a feeling you're just kind of one of those coaches that wants to just continue to win and let the rest take care of itself.
You hit it on the head. I think number one, we've got great kids on our team. We've got awesome leadership this year. Our seniors have really taken ownership in kind of running the team, and I'm a big believer in player-led teams, and just really, really proud of what our kids have done. They believed in the new schemes and new stuff that we've installed, and guys like Jace have come in and they've been a leader and they've been an extra voice for us. So we're just taking whatever we get every week.
Coach, 3 big-time wins the last 3 straight weeks with Millennium 38-8, 20-7 over Notre Dame Prep, and then 21-10 over one of your rivals in Desert Mountain. How much can this keep going? How long could this keep going with the type of schedule you have coming up the next 3 weeks like you have on Thursday as well?
Well, we're blessed enough to be able to play every week. I think the thing that we've done well this year is we focused on ourselves. And knowing just that we've got, elite opponents that we're going to face, from here on out, no matter where we go. And I think the kids are just, understanding how we really kind of play ball together. Offense complements the defense complements the offense. And if neither one of those are going, the special teams crew kind of comes in and picks up the slack. So, we're just happy to be able to play every week and taking what we get.
Coach, you've done a fantastic job in your first season over there at the helm for the Horizon Huskies. Tell us about how you became the head coach there at Horizon. We know Coach Litton went over to coach the Mountain View Toros over there in Mesa, but how did you come to be the head coach there just off of 56th Street in Greenway?
Well, I was actually here under Coach Litton's staff in 2021 when we won a state championship in the 5A region under Coach Litton's first year. I was under his staff for 2 years after that. And then I went to be the DC at Mountain Ridge as of recent. And, as soon as Coach Litton took the Mountain View job, there really was only one spot that I knew I wanted to apply for it if it ever opened up. And it was Horizon. And things just kind of really worked themselves out. And, I got to be honest, I got an awesome commute. I'm 3 minutes from the school. And it just feels really kind of like home.
Jace, congrats on the season you've been having so far, close to 1,300 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions. What have you seen improve in your game from junior season to now senior season, helping your team right now to a 6-1 record?
I'd say first off, definitely my leadership. This year, I've definitely stepped up as a leader, as a senior, really trying to take the team under my wing and lead them as much as I can and be the best teammate that I can. And in the off season, working with Sling QB coaching, Coach Gill, working on my footwork and just my timing and understanding the game more has helped me the most. Just becoming a more proficient passer and polishing up some of the stuff I need to work on from junior year, and just really going hard this off season on those type of things.
Chase, we know that this game of football is the ultimate team sport, and you can't do any of those things that you're able to do at the quarterback position without some great offensive line play. Tell us about those big guys up front and how they keep you clean on Friday and Thursday nights, in this case, this week.
Yeah, I mean, those are my guys. Leading the group, Mateo Johnson and Owen O'Connor, two seniors. That's the left side of our line, left guard and left tackle. And then we got a center, our new center, Tyler Amundsen. Right guard Porter Hill, and right tackle Justin Clutie. I mean, those guys have stepped up big time. I mean, we were senior heavy last year. We had 4 seniors graduate. So those guys have definitely stepped up big time. When Coach Walker is one of the best O-line coaches in the state. So just watching those guys develop and keep getting better each week has definitely been huge for our offense.
Jace, you got quite the tight end that you get to throw to week in and week out with Jax. How much does the connection and friendship off the field that you have with him kind of bleed into the football field and being able to have 6 of your 15 touchdowns?
Yeah, I mean, that's my guy. I mean, all the way back until elementary school, we've been pretty close friends since elementary school. I mean, we went to the same elementary school, played in the same flag football leagues. I mean, we've always been competing with each other. And I'm just happy for him to finally get some love this year. I mean, he was blocking a lot last year, but we're starting to get him the ball this year a little bit more and getting him some more touchdowns, some more touches, which is definitely a big factor for us.
Jace, tell us about Coach Dittmore and how he's been able to come in and affect this Horizon Husky program. He mentioned a moment ago really sort of a dream job for him being a former assistant coach there at Horizon, and now he was able to apply and get that job and has really done a great job this season with the Huskies. Talk about his impact on the program there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say pretty much just his leadership has been the biggest thing, keeping us on top of the little things. I mean, he always preaches, if you take care of the small things, the big things will take care of themselves. So just him coming in and the whole staff really just embracing us, especially our senior class. And they've been great. I mean, bringing the energy every day in practice, making it fun, but still competing, and just having a good culture and bringing that winning culture to Horizon that we've had in the past, just elevating it to a new level.
Coach, kind of like we were talking with Higley beforehand, this seems to be kind of a low-key rivalry, I guess, with how, of course, you guys play in a very tough region. Horizon as a school, I believe, if I remember correctly, and James can correct me if I'm wrong, is 3-1 the last 4 times that you have played. How do you continue on this win streak that you guys kind of have against a very talented team like Higley?
Well, I mean, it's going to be tough. It's no easy feat. Higley's well coached. They've got great players there, great athletes. I heard you say it earlier that, Coach Zuby coming in and really turn that program around. And, it's always going to be a challenge for us when we play them, and very well coached scheme wise. They do some really sound things. And, I think it just comes down to, how we execute on Thursday night, how well our defense plays, and just kind of how well we complement each other offensively, defensively. And, I think this one might really come down to some special team stuff and some game management stuff. So we're looking forward for another opportunity to be able to compete with some elite talent.
Coach, we know that the Huskies football program gets a lot of support from the community there in North Phoenix, as well as the community at the school. It's no doubt it's in your Twitter handle, even Huskies football family. How much is it going to mean to have this game at home this Thursday night and get that support from your home crowd?
Every home game's huge for us. We feel like it's a strong community, and one of the main reasons is because Horizon's done a really good job of doing everything in quote unquote our backyard. We really rely on homegrown talent, and it's just really nice to see our kids play well that have played from Pee Wee ball coming all the way up to high school rankings. And it's going to be big for us. And another big piece for us too is it's a special night for our seniors. It technically could be one of their last home games, and we really want to make it a great night for them and a great experience, and allow them to be able to compete at the highest level that they can. So the community is huge. The administration's big. Just a lot of support in this North Phoenix area that we're appreciative of.
Coach, 6-1 in your first season, like we've talked about a couple of times so far. With it being your first season, what type of culture have you wanted to set and have clearly set with your coaching staff and the players right now?
One of the things we preach to our guys is we want to teach them how to be great young men first. Football can only take you so far in life, and we want to feel like our boys have enough ownership in, what they're doing day to day. And we ask them to do a lot. We do. We ask them to be there many hours of the day, and we want them to have ownership and, what they like. Because, ultimately, those guys are the kids who are on the field, and, they see things. They're such smart kids. I think just making a comfortable environment that's, driven from energy and motivation and good leadership skills as a person is kind of what we wanted to do. And it wouldn't be working if the kids didn't believe. So hats off to the kids to believing in what we're doing.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk lately about 5A teams being able to compete in the open division. You guys are currently ranked 5th in the open division rankings. If you're able to stay in that top 8 at the end of the season, do you feel like you and your team could make some noise in that open division?
There's a lot of football to be played right now. We still have the rest of our region to get through, and there's still some very, talented 6A teams that have to play. But, our message amongst the team and this is amongst our leaders that we talked about with Jace and Jackson Murray is, we need to focus 1 week at a time. And whatever we get dealt, we're going to get dealt. And at the end of the day, we just need to be blessed and humbled enough to know that wherever we go, we're going to put our best foot forward and try our best. So you never know what's going to shake up. It's uncharted territory for us right now.
Coach, my last question for you, regardless of course, of what you have said, regardless if it's open or if it's the 5A, you guys clearly play, in my opinion, in like a top 3 division or region, I should say, in the state. I think this 5A region, with, of course, you guys, ALA, Gilbert North, Higley, DM, Notre Dame Prep, and Cactus Shadows is clearly just unreal, especially this season. Do you feel with the battle testing you guys are getting with region play, it's going to be able to help you guys be able to play well under pressure and possibly make a deep playoff run here, regardless of where you are?
Yeah, I think it challenges us. It challenges us for sure. The tough part about it is it's hard to beat a team twice. It really is. So, no matter where teams end up, if everybody ends up in the 5A, playoffs, we're going to have to play a team twice. And just from my experiences, that's really hard to do, is beat a team twice. But, again, those are things that are down the line that we really can't control right now. And I think it's a blessing in itself just to be able to play good talent every week. And we're humbled enough to be able to be in the region and have the competitive opponents that we got each week. So we're just going to take it one at a time.
Head coach Tyson Ditmore and quarterback Jace Ashley joining us here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. Gentlemen, good luck on Thursday night. We appreciate your time, and it was great talking Huskies football with you here tonight. We will talk to you again very soon.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Stay with us. When we return, we'll wrap up the Desert Gridiron Game Plan and take a look at the rest of the rankings from the open division down through the 2A when we return here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. Stay with us.
Have you had the craving for the best burrito anywhere? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Burrito Express, your local burrito joint. Come on in.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Burrito Express.
With 7 Valley locations and a new South Chandler location opening soon, your new favorite burrito is just right around the corner. Burrito Express, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Kickoff on CW7 Arizona.
Special thanks once again to our guest here joining us tonight on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. We had the Bradshaw Mountain Bears coach Bob Young joining us, as well as Caleb Deacons. And from the Prescott Badgers, we had Coach Cody Collette and Uriah Tannett joining us. That's going to be an exciting game, Parker, on Thursday night. You'll be on Color Analysis with me. I'm excited to have you right by my side there on Thursday night for our first time witnessing the Crosstown Showdown in person. And then we got to visit with another big-time matchup from Thursday night between the Higley Knights and the Horizon Huskies. That's going to be a throwdown game there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both of these games that we highlighted tonight, playoff implications in both of them. You think about it with the Bradshaw Mountain and Prescott one, both of those teams would be 6-2. So they could flip flop in their standings. With Higley and Horizon, same type of thing. Higley right now 5-2, Horizon 6-1. If Higley wins, they're both 6-2, and they're in the 5 and 6 seed. And with how these rankings have come out each week, you don't really know what's going to happen. So I think, right now it's very interesting to see what it's been like. But both of those two games we talked about tonight could be very interesting, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
Meanwhile, down south, the Marana Tigers just keep stacking wins. They're 8-0. They remain in first place in the Open Division rankings, followed by a red-hot Red Mountain Lions team under the direction of Coach Kyle Enders. We had them on last week or week before last, I believe it was. They're sitting at 7-0. The Basha Bears and Coach Chris McDonald at 6-1. Liberty Lions, always a strong team here in the state of Arizona. They check in at the number 4 spot. We talked about 5 and 6 with the Horizon Huskies and Higley Knights, and then the ALA Queen Creek Patriots under the direction of Coach Rich Edwards check in at the 7th spot, and in 8th position in the Open Division rankings, the Brophy Prep Broncos. So we know there's about 3 more weeks of the regular season left. Anything can happen here, but things looking pretty good, I would say, for those top 3 or 4 teams there in the Open Division rankings.
For sure. I think you got when you look at the teams peeking in, you got Hamilton, Queen Creek, Mountain View, Highland, McClintock even, who we had on the broadcast a handful of weeks ago. So I think there's a lot of great teams. I think regardless if you don't make the Open or not, that's just going to give you an even higher seed in your conference. So you don't know what's going to happen. Of course, a lot of teams want those home field advantages. I think it does play a bit more of a factor when it comes to teams like Marana, who's sitting in at number 1 in the Open right now, because they will be playing a very good Brophy team. But again, couple-hour drive down south there to where they play. You just don't know what could happen. But there's a lot of great teams. I'm excited to see what happens. And we could see some upsets and some surprises along the way with just 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, this is the 6A rankings that we're looking at here right now. And as Coach Young mentioned from the Bradshaw Mountain Bears, it's all about securing that home playoff game, especially if you're one of those outlying teams where teams have to travel maybe a number of hours to get to you. There's a lot of things involved there, and you just get to kind of sit back and have yourself a home game there, and some definite advantages, especially if you're up north and you're going to get a little bit of cold weather that your opponents are going to have to face there into the November playoff season.
Yeah, and I've never really been up to Prescott in the wintertime outside of going skiing. So I don't know what it's going to be like, playing football in November, in mid to late November when it comes to the 4A and 5A regions. But a heck of a lot of talent in all of these teams, honestly. I think it's been great to see the game grow in Arizona. It's really, like I talked about last time we talked about this, I think this has really helped Arizona get put on the map as far as recruiting goes. But this Horizon Higley game is going to be really interesting. And whatever way it goes, it's just going to bring them even more higher in the rankings. And of course, home field advantage is something that teams play for week in and week out.
Yeah, it's going to be a magnificent game. Then you got Desert. This is the 5A rankings we're looking at right here. Desert Mountain, Ironwood Ridge from down south in Tucson, and then the McClintock Chargers, unfortunately only ranked 6th right now due to their strength of schedule, but they remain undefeated behind quarterback Jackson Knutson, and so anything can happen there, especially if they're able to somehow get themselves a home game and get in the top half of that rankings there in the 5A. Checking in the 4A division, Snowflake, the Lobos just rolling under Coach K. Solomon, 7-0 on the season. Right behind them, the Arizona College Prep Knights checking in at 6-1. The Yuma Catholic Shamrocks, who we had on Thursday Night Football a few weeks ago as well, they're in at 7-1 as well. The Arcadia Titans under Coach Ray Brown, undefeated at 7-0. Micah Mountain Thunderbolts and Coach Pat Nugent checking in at 7-0 as well. The Thunderbird Titans playing really well. Unfortunately, due to their strength of schedule, they've fallen down a little bit to the 6th spot in the 4A division rankings at 6-1. Northwest Christian, always a strong team. Coach Dave Ennis always has his young men ready to play over there off 43rd Avenue in Bell. And the Prescott Badgers, which we will see on Thursday night, checking in at 6-1. They are in 8th position in the 4A rankings.
And going off, just again, I haven't watched a lot of these teams play as far as the season has gone. Of course, I've looked at schedules and stats and stuff like that. But just off the eye test, I would not want to play Yuma if I'm any of these teams.
No.
From what I saw in that Thunderbird game, there's a lot of media there. And talking with them pregame, they're like, this should be a good one. Like, this should be a really good test for both of these teams to see where they measure just in this 4A conference. Yuma was so disciplined, so well coached. I don't think I saw a single offside or false start on either line. They just played a clean game of football. And Thunderbird is extremely well coached. We had them on the show, of course, and of course in that game, we were able to see bright spots of what that team is. But Yuma just shut them down, and it was kind of surprising after a lot of talk that I had heard from people about Thunderbird. So if I'm any of these top teams and mid-tier teams when it comes to the first 2 rounds of the 4A playoffs, I am not wanting to see Yuma Catholic.
Yuma Catholic was extremely strong. They play a lot of power football. They came out in I formation a lot of times, a lot of 21 personnel. Sometimes they would even have 12 personnel out there with 2 tight ends. And Coach Stallworth, all about that power football there at Yuma. You mentioned it. Not a team you want to see as they just continue to seem to get better each and every week as they get towards the playoffs. And we obviously can't forget about those Arizona College Prep Knights. We saw them a few weeks back down there in Casa Grande as they played the Vista Grande Spartans. And they looked magnificent.
They did. They played, again, another super clean game of football. They had the foot on the gas pedal from the jump. I believe it was 28-0 in the first quarter. It was like 3 drives, 3 scores. They were able to get a fumble and an interception as well. They just completely shut down a very good, again, Vista Grande offense. That team was very well coached too. Their defense was solid coming into that night. But again, I think just some of these teams on any given night can just pop off for 40, 45 points. It seems like a lot of the games we've had so far have been in the 40 to 45 point range. But yeah, there's a lot of talent even in these lower rankings like 4A. But yeah, just those are 2 teams that could 100% make deep playoff runs. But again, Snowflake seems like the team that everyone is talking about too.
Taking a look right quick at the 3A and 2A, standing at the top of the heap right now, the Thatcher Eagles, 7-1. ALA West Foothills having a great season at 7-0. The Ben Franklin Chargers, not bad, 7-1. And how about the River Valley Dust Devils from Eloy, Arizona, checking in undefeated so far at 8-0. Right behind them are the Payson Longhorns at 7-1. The ALA Ironwood Guardians, I believe it is, at 6-1. The Push Ridge Lions 7-1, and the Florence Gophers in the 8th spot in 3A there at 6-1. And finally, we look at the 2A as the Santan Charter Roadrunners undefeated so far behind the outstanding play of quarterback Uriah Nellums, a gentleman we had on the first week of the season on Thursday Night Kickoff. He is some kind of talent.
That he is, and that's why he's going Division I believe, going to ASU. They're very well coached. And the thing I think I noticed, though, about especially like the 2A and 3A region, any of these teams can win in the playoffs. I think when it comes down to it, 2A is a bit how the style of play that 2A plays just as a whole as a conference is a lot different than what 4A and 5A are going to play. You're not going to see the ball air out a lot. But what Santan, Tonopah Valley has been able to do, even Scottsdale Prep there I see at the number 8 ranking. Very impressive. There's a lot of dangerous teams, though, when you get to the lower rankings, like Scottsdale Christian. They won state last year, had a handful of injuries at the beginning of the year, had a couple of kids not be able to play the first 3 weeks. So they're finally getting on track, it seems like, with a couple of games to go. So 2A is, I think, going to be a very fun conference to look out for when it comes down to the state playoffs.
And congratulations to the Tonopah Valley Phoenix, the first 9-0 start in team history behind Sir Caldwell out there. We've had a couple of stud Sirs that we've talked about this season. Sir Stokes a couple of weeks ago on that Yuma Catholic team, and then Sir Caldwell out there for the Tonopah Valley Phoenix. And I tell you, like you said, it's high school football. Any team can beat any team on any night, and it's just all about getting that proper playoff seating. And if you can do it, get yourself a home game and be in front of your home crowd when you get to go to those playoffs here, which start start just a couple short weeks from now. And I'm very excited that we will be broadcasting a couple of playoff games on CW7 Arizona. We're working that out right now, but I'm excited for that, Parker. And there's a number of good matchups that we might land. So we'll check on that as we go forward.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think, the season has showed a lot of just kind of how the variety of talent, it goes so deep. We've had teams, in the Gilbert area. We've had teams in the Mesa and Phoenix area. Of course, we had the Yuma Catholic come on, even Vista Grande. And now we get to go up north to Prescott and show the talent that is going on up north. So it's going to be fun. And then when it comes to playoff time, it's you win or you're out. And I think that's going to just bring in another level of pressure and discipline from teams. And of course, coaching also, games in the playoffs always come down to coaching too, and how well prepared you get your guys. So I'm excited to see what teams come out just well coached, well prepared, and wanting to get another win in the win column.
We've got an exciting 3 regular season weeks remaining here on the schedule on Thursday Night Kickoff. We go to Prescott Valley this Thursday for the Bradshaw Mountain Bears and the Prescott Badgers. It's the Crosstown Showdown. Next Thursday night, on Halloween night, we'll be out at Phoenix College as the St. Mary's Knights host the Buckeye Hawks. And then to conclude the regular season on Thursday Night Kickoff, it's the Tukey Bowl. Back on the air once again here as the Desert Vista Thunder battle the Mountain Point Pride. That is always a fun one out there as Coach Lauer gets it done there at Mountain Point High School.
Only been out there one time, and it was I believe it was actually my first broadcast at EVIT, if anyone knows what EVIT was, and it was when they were playing Brophy, when Kurt Warner's son was the quarterback there.
Okay.
So only been out there one time. I know they have a heck of a football team, and a lot of transfers that came in, a lot of D1 talent is out there too. And with the rivalry, of course, being the Tukey Bowl between those two teams in Desert Vista and Mountain Point, I'm sure it's going to be a packed house and a heck of a game between those two squads.
It is quite an atmosphere, just like one we expect this Thursday night up in Prescott Valley. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We appreciate your time, and hope you enjoyed the program as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. For my broadcast partner, Parker Gurash, I'm James Poovey saying so long, have a great night, and we will see you Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. from Bradshaw Mountain High School. We'll be on the air with the pregame show on CW7 Arizona at 6:30, and kickoff is set for 7. Have a great night, folks, and we will see you.